Tom Abel hits captain's knock to spark Somerset recovery. It's crunch time at the top of Division 1 in the Specsavers County Championship. Just a handful of fixtures remain and only 2 points separate leaders Essex from second place Somerset in the battle for the title. The Taunton side would play host to Yorkshire as they look to put themselves back at the top. With the threat of leaden skies in the offing, the visitors took the opportunity to take to the field, looking to put their hosts under pressure. Tight bowling from the off restricted the hosts, Murali Vijay and Steve Davis getting off to a watchful start. But Yorkshire had looked threatening from the first ball and managed to pick up their first wicket with just 18 runs on the board. Davis was the man to fall, driving Patterson to point to depart for 11. Vijay wouldn't fare much better. He feathered an Olivier delivery through to Tattersall to go for 7. Hildreth would last just 3 balls, bowled by Olivier for 1, dreams of a Somerset return to the summit starting to wobble. Tom Banton is a man of 1,000 shots, but he could do little to stem the flow of wickets, caught by Lyth at second slip as he pressed forward at Bresnan. They'd stumble their way through to lunch at 70 for 4, struggling to cope with the Yorkshire onslaught. Tom Abel has shown his undoubted quality in all formats of the game this summer, but he'd have to lead their recovery without George Bartlett. The decision to play the reverse sweep to the second ball after lunch was a brave one, only resulting in his dismissal at the hands of Maharaj. Lewis Gregory would fall cheaply too, Ben Code seeing him depart for 12. But the skipper found a partner in Dom Bess. He stuck with his captain and the pair began to accumulate. Abel accelerated as he neared 50. Maharaj the man under the pump as he brought up his half-century. Bess too took a shine to the spinner, but despite finding some joy, Maharaj would remove the Somerset man, caught by Bresnan for 15. Van der Merwe tried to play a similar role for Abel, but the run rate slowed and he'd be trapped LBW by Maharaj. Jamie Overton took a leaf out of his brother's Old Trafford playbook. The pair would play their way through to the break. Overton unbeaten on 21, Abel 59, and the score a much more respectable 173 for 8. That stand was worth 50 runs soon after the restart, but Abel's fine innings would be brought to an end by Maharaj, LBW for 66. The spinner had 5 soon after. Davey the latest to be trapped LBW. Somerset all out for 199. Lyth would begin Yorkshire's reply in attacking form, firing Davey for 6 before repeating the shot to bring up his 10,000th run in first-class cricket. But just 5 overs in, he'd lose his opening partner. Frayne caught behind off Gregory for 6. Lyth would follow himself in the next over, Davey the man to see him depart. Balance and Kohler Cadmore steadied the ship, 50 runs on the board with play almost done for the day. But Balance would go, trapped LBW by Bess for 35 in the penultimate over of the day. They'd finish on 70 for 3. Maharaj's figures of 5 for 54, the standout for Yorkshire. Somerset once again have their captain to thank. Abel's impressive knock in the face of some tough bowling gave Somerset the belief they needed to regroup. Abel and Hildreth 50s put Somerset in charge after Yorkshire collapse. The first day of this contest had been a tricky one for Somerset. They'd had to dig in to scrape their way to their total of 199. With the race for the division title so tight, their lack of batting bonus points will be a concern, especially after missing out on the 2016 championship by just 4 points. But they'd made crucial inroads as Yorkshire began their reply, removing Lyth, Balance and Frayne in the overs before stumps on day 1. And there would be even more to celebrate, as the momentum continued to swing in their direction. The visitors managed to add 16 runs before the first wicket of the day fell. Kohler Cadmore caught at third slip for 14 off the bowling of Overton. Patterson followed, playing Van der Merwe onto his own stumps as he attempted a cut shot. Tattersall was next, Van der Merwe finding the edge, Hildreth holding on at second slip. Then it was Brooks' turn. He was pinned LBW by Davey for 6. He had a second in the over. Bresnan caught at second slip by Murali Vijay. And then Yorkshire's first day hero Maharaj followed, Van der Merwe taking the catch off of his own bowling. With Ben Code not fit to bat, that wicket marked the end of Yorkshire's innings, the first session of play on day 2 seeing them lose 6 wickets for just 17 runs. Somerset cashed in with bowling bonus points where they'd missed out with the bat. It would be no surprise to see Maharaj open the bowling for the visitors, such was the success he enjoyed with the ball on day 1. And he'd strike early on. Vijay trapped LBW for a duck as Yorkshire looked for a way back into the match. Davis followed in the next over, caught at cover by sub-fielder Jack Leaning off the bowling of Patterson. But captain Tom Abel and club stalwart James Hildreth halted the visitors' progress, finding their feet as Somerset's innings spluttered back into life. An eventful first session would finally come to an end, with the pair still unbeaten. Lunch called with the score 49 for 2, the home side enjoying a lead of 145. The partnership picked up where it left off after lunch, Yorkshire bowlers toiling but unable to find the opportunities for wickets. Hildreth was the first of the two men to 50, reaching the milestone as the Somerset total passed 3 figures, the lead now almost 200. The pair's partnership was worth 100 runs shortly after that, but Hildreth would be unable to stay with his captain. Finally extricated after a fine innings, caught at short leg for 58 off Adam Lythe. Abel would reach his second 50 of the match after losing his long-time partner, the Somerset captain once again leading from the front for his side. By now, Banton had joined his skipper and he began to unleash his trademark shots, quickly building a 50 partnership in the process. He'd fall to Maharaj, caught at slip for a quick-fire 43, tea called shortly after as the skies above Taunton darkened. Bresnan would remove Abel after the interval, pinned LBW for 62, but the damage had been done by the exciting Somerset pair. Floodlights came on with light beginning to fade, with Bartlett and Gregory beginning to build a partnership of their own. Despite the difficult conditions, both men began to play their shots, Gregory lifting Maharaj for a straight 6 to take the lead past 300. The pair took Somerset past 250 as their partnership continued. But bad light would give Yorkshire some respite, stopping their progress and bringing a halt to play. And that would be that for the day. Somerset's shaky first day, a distant memory as they batted their way into control of the match. That position has a lot to do with Yorkshire's reply, a catastrophic collapse seeing wickets tumble in the first session on day 2. Somerset looked likely to be setting up a declaration on day 3 as they chase a crucial victory. They'll also be buoyed by news from Edgbaston, where Essex have struggled. Josh Davies' career best 5 for 21 seals huge victory for Somerset as they return to the Division 1 summit. The second day of play in Somerset was a near perfect one for the hosts. Their demolition of the Yorkshire batting order in the morning session was the real turning point. The effort of the Somerset batsmen, once again led by Tom Abel, was the mark of potential champions. They'd finished the day on 269 for 5, Bartlett and Gregory at the crease, and the lead 365. The title chasers knew that they'd also be able to put Yorkshire under pressure with the ball whenever that opportunity arose. And with only a few more runs added to the total, it looked like that would be sooner rather than later. Lewis Gregory, the first man to fall, bowled by Maharaj as he attempted to lift the spinner over long on. Dom Bess would follow in the next over, the experienced campaigner Tim Bresnan making a mess of his stumps, bowled for naught. A 400-run lead that looked certain at the start of play was beginning to look a little more in doubt. Bartlett, too, removed, stumped as he looked to bring up a 50 in style, coming down the pitch to Maharaj. But Van der Merwe took matters into his own hands, blasting Maharaj for 6 twice in an over to ensure Somerset did reach that 400 mark. He'd fall in the same over, holing out to Tom Kohler-Cadmore as he looked for another big shot, Maharaj with his second fifer in the match. Overton enjoyed himself, becoming the 7th Somerset batsman to clear the boundary in the innings, another following shortly before his wicket at the hands of Patterson. That saw his side finish on 329 all out, setting Yorkshire 426 to win. That looked a tough ask on a wicket that had continued to cause batsmen problems, and so it proved early on in the Yorkshire chase. Davey finding Lythe's edge, Overton taking a neat catch at third slip to get Somerset off to a great start. Balance and Kohler Cadmore regrouped for the visitors and saw out the opening partnership of Bess and Davey. But the introduction of Jamie Overton paid dividends in the bowler's second over. Balance caught behind for 23, with Yorkshire a few runs shy of 50. That wicket saw lunch called, another morning session going the way of the home side. Somerset's momentum continued as they resumed after the break. Jamie Overton finding an edge as Tattersall looked to leave. A deserved wicket in a threatening spell for the bowler. Van der Merwe had Brook on toast, beating the cut shot with one that went straight on. Bresnan would fall to a pinpoint direct hit from Bess, run out for 17 with Yorkshire in the 90s. Davey came back into the attack and removed the last of Yorkshire's top order batsmen. Kohler Cadmore pouched at slip by Hildreth. Maharaj followed 2 balls later, LBW for a duck. Frayne and Patterson guided their side into 3 figures, but defeat was coming. It was just a matter of when. A return catch to Davey saw Frayne depart for 5, and with Code unlikely to take the field for the visitors after falling ill, Somerset were 1 away from a crucial win in their championship chase. They were made to wait. Patterson and Olivier hitting out in a final act of defiance. Davey would be a fitting man to seal the victory. Olivier caught by Bess, the bowler with career best figures of 5 for 21, the 10th man to pick up 5 wickets for Somerset across all formats this season. The 298-run win put Somerset back on top of Division 1, with Essex's match at Edgbaston heading into a final day and looking likely to end in a draw. The West Country side now have just 2 matches standing between them and a first ever county championship title. They'll hope that their final fixture against Essex will turn out to be a dead rubber rather than a winner-takes-all clash.